Luzon is the largest of the Philippine islands. It's home to 56 million people, the capital city of Manila, and Mount Pinatubo. For centuries, thousands have lived on and around the mountain. Farmers harvest rice and other crops from its fertile soil. What many locals didn't know or believe is that the mountain is a volcano. Even most experts who knew it was thought it was inactive. On June 9, 1991, the mountain erupts for the first time in more than 500 years. Eruptions, earthquakes, pyroclastic flows, and ash batter the island day and night. Geologist Dr. Kelvin Rodolfo arrives 4 days later.
The amount of ash was falling so thickly you couldn't see any more than 20 feet. There were pieces the size of chicken eggs that were landing on us.
On June 15th, a massive eruption spews 5 cubic kilometers of volcanic debris 35 kilometers high. The top of the mountain collapses, triggering a series of large earthquakes. Rodolfo is one of thousands trapped in the city of Olongapo, 33 kilometers from Pinatubo.
I was terrified continually during the eruption. Every 3 minutes or so, there was a noticeable tremor, one of the magnitude that would cause you impulsively to want to run outside of a building.
But outside, the scene is equally terrifying.
Reddish lightning was darting horizontally above people. And the claps of thunder were practically simultaneous with the lightning.
This intra-cloud lightning is caused by static electricity in the ash cloud. It's seldom dangerous because it strikes horizontally instead of vertically. Still, fear of the conditions outside stops many locals from sweeping the ash off their roofs, something that will have fatal consequences. On the same day as the eruption, a typhoon strikes Luzon. The heavy rains mix with the ash. Since ash consists of fine particles of rock and minerals, adding water turns it into a cement-like substance. For those with several centimeters of ash on their roofs, the mixture is a deadly one.
The passing typhoon saturated the ash with water, making it a lot heavier, causing roofs to fall in and pull the walls of houses in after them.
As if that isn't enough, vast pyroclastic flows fill the valleys around Pinatubo with debris. Once again, the typhoon turns a volcanic byproduct into a lethal weapon: lahars. Lahars form when a large amount of debris rapidly mixes with a huge amount of water. The powerful mass churns downstream, destroying anything and anyone unlucky enough to be caught in their path.
If you imagine a bulldozer traveling perhaps 15 miles per hour hitting the substructure of a bridge, the bridge is taken out, and that's the impact that large rafted boulders had.
After 9 nightmarish hours, the eruptions end. More than 300 people are dead, and tens of thousands are homeless. As bad as things are, they could have been much worse. In the months prior to the eruption, locals reported seismic activity. Ongoing scientific monitoring confirmed the reports. Guided by experts who pointed out specific high-risk zones, officials evacuated more than 58,000 people in the days and hours leading up to the eruption.
Prior to the eruption, we had made maps that anticipated where the tephra would fall, and that depended on the seasonal winds.
But in still another deadly development, the typhoon changed the wind direction. Areas that had been considered safe were inundated with a deadly mix of tephra, or ash, and rain that crushed homes and the people in them. As thousands begin the massive cleanup, the volcano's effects become global. 1 month after the eruption, the huge ash cloud circles the Earth. In the upper atmosphere, sulfur dioxide is converted into sulfuric acid aerosols. They reflect the sun's radiation away from the Earth, cooling the entire planet's surface by 1 degree. The effects on the Earth's atmosphere will last more than 2 years. Back in the Philippines, the volcano's after effects continue. In the 3 months following the eruption, heavy rains trigger more than 200 lahars.
As time progressed and the flows eroded deeper and deeper into the lahars, the channels got larger and larger and became much more efficient conduits for the slurries to flow down.
To help the hundreds of thousands of people in harm's way, lookouts are stationed upriver. When they sight a lahar, they radio priests like Father Nestor Tayeg, who ring their church bells in warning.
The bell sounds would be heard by the community any time of the night like an alarm, a warning. Warning, be prepared, lahar is coming.
But once again, a twist of fate conspires against the people of Luzon. In October 1995, another large typhoon strikes the island and lookouts are put on alert.
Unfortunately, the heavy rains that triggered the lahars were not yet loaded with sediment when they passed this watch point.
Consequently, the lookouts radio that nothing but floodwater is coming down the mountain. But as the water runs down the channel, it erodes a lot of loose material, bulking up the lahar into a mixture estimated at 80% sediment and only 20% water. The larger the percentage of sediment, the faster and more powerful the lahar. It strikes with incredible force.
It was making this noise, this sound, just like rampaging horses. It was coming closer. Suddenly, it invaded our parish church. The second floor of my rectory where I live was buried, and I climbed on top of the bell tower. The lahar still kept coming. You can actually hear the lahar still rising, burying the second floors of most houses. You can hear people screaming. It was very dark. You can't see a thing.
The lahar kills dozens and buries the entire town of Bacolor. Like cement, the remains of the lahar dry quickly and turn rock hard. Today, the entire village is built